There's this weird trend happening lately where almost every game I pick up now has some sort of sense of moral choice, but none of them are really doing it properly in my mind. Everything seems pretty binary and pretty shallow. As games are coming out with these new choices, they're mostly just save the world or don't save the world, or kill this person or don't kill this person. Perfect example of that is Bioshock. After you kill Big Daddy and you pick up the little sister, you can either harvest them or you can save them. And the implicit reaction is this is an objectivist thing where if you save them, then you're not getting as much of a reward, but you're morally acceptable because you are saving a little girl instead of killing her. And if you harvest her, you get more Adam right away, but you're being selfish and you're killing a little girl. Now, this is fine, but the problem is on the front, it's lying to you at its most basic point, because you actually get the same amount of Adam no matter what. It just depends on when you get it. So if you save all the little sisters and you do it throughout the whole game, you get an enormous amount of Adam, more Adam than you'll ever need. And same with if you just kill all the little sisters, it doesn't matter. So this creates a gameplay dynamic where you can save all the little sisters or you can kill them and you still get the same thing. So really there is no moral choice there. It just falls flat. Another game that does this in a very interesting way, but it kind of falls flat, is the Mass Effect series. It does it well and wrong at the same time, because there is a lot of points in the game where when you do choose something, it dramatically affects the game, but when later on in the games, there's a lot where it doesn't really affect the game and when it should. For instance, in Mass Effect 1, you can choose to kill Rex or not, or you can choose to kill Kaidan or Ashley. And these things are all based around the character development that happened earlier on in the game. Which characters do you care about most? And you have to choose which ones you want to get rid of and which ones you want around by the circumstance of the story. But later on in the game, you have the choice between stopping Sovereign, the Reaper, or saving the Council. And the implicit response to that is I will kill the Council and destroy Sovereign, because they tell you that there isn't enough time to do both. But if you do save the Council, they still kill Sovereign, so really that just falls on its face. And that's the face value of the decision, if you haven't been through that game before, is lying to you. And that's the problem with these moral choices, is they're practically lying to you. And another problem the Mass Effect series has, which, spoilers for Mass Effect 3's ending, click off if you don't want to hear it. Mass Effect 3's ending, where you choose the three options between killing all synthetic life, merging all synthetic life, or controlling the synthetic life. When I first saw this, I actually really enjoyed the ending, and looking back on it after playing through it again, I'm not entirely sure why I enjoyed the ending, because it really is kind of a betrayal of our power, because really we have no right to pick these things. I've had many people say that to me. They're like, why do you like the ending? Because really you don't have any right to destroy the universe, or perfect it, or kill off races of sentient beings. And then I was like, whoa, it's just an allegory for religion, and I was being like pretentious douchebag about it. But then really they're right. There is no right there. And also, since there's nothing after that, there's no character development to happen after that, there's nothing really going on, the choices doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter, because you don't see the effects really on any of the characters. You might think of the effects when you're trying to make your decision, but they don't really show up besides when their ship crashes and all. So that's the end of the Mass Effect 3 spoilers. But there are a few games that do this really well, and two of them you probably wouldn't expect, and one of them is kind of a gray area for most people. So the first one is actually Left 4 Dead. Now that probably perked your ears up when you heard Left 4 Dead. But the interesting thing about Left 4 Dead, and this is a totally circumstantial thing, is if the whole game's about cooperative play and surviving together. They don't look for the stupid cure. They don't do anything in that. It's just about survival. So if you're put into a situation where you're almost at the safe room and one of your friends is down, you have to make that choice. Do we want to get to the safe room and survive, or do we want to go and try to risk picking him up and saving our friend? And that is totally based on character, totally based on pragmatic gameplay reasons, and it's interesting and it evokes emotional response, because if your friend's on the ground, he's saying, come on, pick me up, and you're like, dude, I can't, I'm sorry, and then you just turn around and run, he's going to feel betrayed, and then you're going to have this like moment with your friend that's actually quite real. And that's one of the craziest things about moral choices, is it's all about the feelings, and you can't really do that when it's all binary and it's all about choosing about stuff that you really don't see that often. Like, you don't see the whole race of the Geth all the time, so you wouldn't know that you were going to kill them. And the next game is actually Far Cry 2. Now, I wasn't a fan of Far Cry 2 for a while now, and I'm starting to get through it now, but there's interesting points where if you get hurt enough and you're about to die, your buddy will come in as part of the buddy system and save you. And if he gets hurt, there's a problem where he's laying on the ground and you have a choice. So I've been in situations where my buddy's on the ground hurt, and I can either save him or kill him, and I only have one syringe left, which is the weird haphazard health system where you just stick some adrenaline in you and you get your health back. And I was low on health, so the decision I had to make was I going to kill him, or was I going to save myself? What was going to happen? So if I saved him, I might not have enough health to get away, and if I didn't save him, I wouldn't have my buddy anymore, someone that I spent quite a few hours helping and being around. So I ended up saving him, and I ran back to the tree line, and he walked out into the open a little bit and got shot in the head by a sniper rifle and killed. And I just wasted that syringe, and that was something that I had to think about, and that was the risk I had to take, and that's what happened. And it was like this really cool emergent gameplay moment for me. Now, the third game that actually does moral choice well at the end is Fable 2. So I'm going to spoil the ending of Fable 2. If you haven't beaten it by now, I think it came out in 2009, so really get over it. So Fable 2's ending, you're poised with a choice to save your family, but kill everyone else. Get a bunch of gold, and I think kill everyone else, or save everyone, and your family is dead. And now that's an interesting choice, because if you kill all the villagers, when you go back to the town, there's nothing. There's no one to any town. So you're just sitting there with your family, and there's nothing. And it's a really sad experience. I've played through all three of these endings, by the way. And it's just like you're in this empty town. What's the point anymore? You just turn off your game, and it's like, well, I fucked that up. So really, what's the point? And then if you kill your family, you go back to your house and you're like, geez, my family. And then your dog's gone. And it's this horrifying and just sad realization that even though you save the world and there's this huge statue erected for you, your character has nothing. And that is one of the cooler moments of moral choice, because it's about yourself and the characters around you. And the reason why moral choices are kind of falling flat in most games is because they need to be about characters. They need to be about personal relationships. They can't be about overarching things. Even though I did just say Fable 2 is cool because it is about overarching things. But the thing is they affect you and the characters that you had relationships on a base level. If you kill all the villagers, then you're left alone with your family, but there's nothing you can do besides that. It's just you and your family and your dog. And then what? And that, like, it's this lonely realization. So if we're going to have moral choices in games going further, we really need to look at games that take the moral choice and put them on a personal level and aren't so black and white. They're not binary gameplay pragmatic reasons, but they make you think, and they are about characters that you have a relationship about. So I've been Grayson with So Last Gen. This is just a quick little rant about moral choices in games. I hope you enjoyed, and if you enjoyed, please look at So Last Gen for more content and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, bye!